It's time for the 2018 Family Traditions and Christmas Tablescape. So if you want to see what I've got going on, keep watching. Welcome to This and That with Denise Jordan. I teach women to make wise home health and beauty decisions. So if you want to learn more about running a household, subscribe. Or if you want to see reviews about products that can benefit you in your home, subscribe, because I do videos about those topics all the time. But definitely check out the show notes in the description box below, because that's where I will link my favorite housekeeping and gardening solutions. Kimberly Davis at Diva Designing on a Dime and Bree at Bree's Project Book are hosting their annual Family Traditions and Christmas Tablescape collaboration. And as usual, they have a little twist, and these lovely ladies want us to share a family tradition and then share a tablescape. And I want to share two family traditions. They're actually childhood memories, but they're kind of the same tradition and memory, but they're separate. So when I was a little girl, my father would always take us downtown to the Wolf and Dessauer store and see the Santa and his sleigh light up on the side of the building, and then we would watch the display in the store window. Wolf and Dessauer was one of those old-fashioned department stores, kind of like Macy's and Gimbel's, the one you would see on Miracle on 24th Street. And every year on the side of the building, they would have this huge Santa and his sleigh and several pairs of reindeer that would light up on the side of the building. And it was like a big deal in town for the lighting of the Santa, and people would come down to see it. But then in conjunction with that, they also had a display window. And the window kind of like went all the way around two sides of the store. So here's one side, and then here's another side where it kind of turned the corner. And the display window went all around there. And in the window would be a mechanical, kind of an animated setup of mechanical figures. And the theme would change from year to year, but it would always be a Christmas theme. One year it might be Santa's workshop, and you see the little elves working in the workshop making toys. Maybe one year it was the North Pole, and you would see lots of snow and different things related to that, or you'd see families gathered around a Christmas tree, whatever. The scene in the window changed every year, but the tradition of the window remained the same. So people would come from all around the several county areas served by this particular department store to see the Santa sleigh get lit up and to see the window. And just like you see people lined up for Black Friday waiting to get into a store, you would see people lined up around the building waiting to look at the window display. And every year my father would take us to see it. There were just four of us at the time, I believe, and we would walk downtown and see the display. Because when I first remember it, we didn't have a car, so we would have to walk downtown and get in line, and then you would wait until your turn, and it was all very, very peaceful and quiet. Well, not quiet, because people would be chattering away, but cold, cold, cold. So you'd have to bundle up, and then when it was your turn to get in front of the window, you just took your time, and you looked at all of the displays, and then you went home and got some hot chocolate, because of course felt like you were half froze to death standing out in all that cold waiting to see the window. And then once you got to see it, and then we would walk back home. And then of course the time came when we had our own car, and then Dad would just drive us downtown to see it, and then we would drive back home. Until finally that store is no longer there, because it went from Wolf and Dessauer's to Ellis Ayres to Macy's, and then Macy's closed that location, and so it's no longer there. But that Santa has been resurrected, and the Santa and sleigh and reindeers has been placed on a bank in the downtown area, and it's still a big deal. There's like a big lighting of the Santa and his sleigh ceremony, and people go down to watch them light it up, and then hot chocolate and all that kind of thing is served. So it's really kind of cool. There's the Santa. I hope you can get a good look at it, but it used to be on the Dessar building, and when they moved that building and tore it down, they moved it over here, and a lot of the community leaders put together money to help pay for it. And so I just always remember walking downtown with my dad to see that display and to see the Santa. And of course, I was small enough when we first started walking that I would hold his hand, and then as I got older and thought I was a big girl, then I didn't need to hold his hand. But I do remember that. So that was really a really nice memory. So thank you, Kimberly, and thank you, Bree, for helping me to bring up that family memory, because it is a precious memory to me. Okay, so now let's do a tablescape. For this tablescape, I decided I wanted to go classic red and white. Nice and bright. Christmas is that one time of the year when I like to get out my good china, and particularly if I'm just going to have a few people over, maybe a small dinner party, then I'll have my good china out. If I'm having a larger group, then I may not do that, because of course you have to hand wash the china. So, and my sisters are like, look, if you get that china out, we are not washing dishes. So when I'm having a small dinner party, 6 or 10 or less, I'll get the china out. And this china is pretty classic. It is white in the center, you've got a raised pattern right here around the edge, and then you've got your platinum trim right around the center, and then again right around the edge. So it really is quite versatile. And one of the things that I'm really loving about this particular table setting is the way you keep seeing the circle go round and around and around on the place setting. And I just love these little accent plates. They are just so sweet. It's spode china, and I just love this old-fashioned looking tree. And it continues the circle, only it adds a pop of color. And one of the things they wanted us to do was add a little bling or a little glam. So here's my bling. I love the little jewel that's on these wine glasses, and then you've got a little bit of bling around there too. So just love it, and it reinforces the reds that I've got going on, the jewel tones that is just so beautiful at Christmas time. I found this beautiful stemware at Pier 1. You need bling, that's where you want to go. And I found these beautiful goblets at Pier 1. And look at the detail that's around here. I really like that, and I feel like they perfectly complement one another. So there's my glitz, my glam, my bling. Now let's get some flatware. I've got a little more bling here with these napkins, and I'm just going to lay it here off to the side. And I've got this beautiful little kind of a mistletoe star that I'm going to use as the napkin holder. And it is actually a kissing crystal ornament. It's called the Red Jewel. And I'm leaving this little tag with it because I want them to read the story about the legend of the mistletoe. So I'm just going to take this and slip it in like so. And there are two napkins in here. This red one, and then you've got this cream one with the little silver trim on it. And they'll actually take the red one out and use it, whereas this cream colored one you would not have them use. Now my table is small, so my runner will have to be small. Just a little accent. So here's my Christmas tablescape. I hope you like it as much as I do. Let me take this opportunity to thank Kimberly Davis and Bree at Bree's Project Book for hosting this challenge. It was really a lot of fun, and I loved getting out my good china and setting a pretty table. Now here's my question for you. What are you doing to celebrate the holiday? Are you getting your good stuff out to set a pretty table? Tell me in the comment section below. And just so you know, I've raised 3 children. I've managed a home for more than 45 years, and I am a nurse by profession. So if you want to learn more about running a household, cooking and cleaning and laundry and health and beauty, subscribe. I would love to have you as a member of the TNT community. In the meantime, this is Denise Jordan saying goodbye. I'll see you in the next video.